Hello everybody. Now we shall discuss about Anderson's bridge. R3, this small R1, okay, R2, this is R4. Here we use, in this bridge, we use fixed capacitor. Instead of using variable capacitor, we use fixed capacitor. This is smaller. Let E is the voltage given to this bridge. E. C is the capacitance of this capacitor. Let R1 is the L1 is the inductance of this inductor and R1 is the resistance of this coil. Okay, you can also draw like this. This bridge, this branch can be drawn like this. Okay, this will be small r1, L1 and R1. Okay. This R1 is the resistance connected in series with this self inductor. R1 is the resistance connected in series with this self inductor. Okay. Now let I2 is the current flowing into this, I1 is the current flowing into this, I4 is the current flowing into this. Okay, let IR is current flowing into this. IC is the current flowing to this. Okay. I3 is the current flowing to this branch. R is variable resistance. Okay. So here L1 is unknown self inductance, R1 is resistance of self inductor, whereas small r1 is resistance connected in series with connected in series with self inductor. Whereas R3, R2, R4 are known non-inductive resistances, whereas small r is variable resistance. C is fixed standard capacitor. Okay, here we use standard fixed capacitor. Okay, here let E1 is the voltage across this arm, E1 is the voltage across this branch. Let E3 is the voltage across this branch. Let E2 is the voltage across this branch. E4 is the voltage across this. Okay, similarly here also E1 is the voltage across this branch, E3 is the voltage across this branch, and E2 is the voltage across this branch, and E4 is the voltage across this branch. Okay, now under balanced conditions, okay, the bridge is said to be balanced when no current is flowing to this detector. When no current is flowing to the detector means current flowing to this will be equal to current flowing to this. Okay, so under balanced conditions, I1 is equal to I3 and this I2 is equal to IC plus I4. Under balanced conditions, IR is equal to IC. Okay, so I2 will be equal to I2 is equal to IC plus I4. IC plus I4. Okay, now under balanced conditions, no current will be flowing to this detector means voltage, this potential will be equal to this potential. These two potentials are equal. Okay, both are same potentials. Okay, then voltage at this point with respect to this point is equal to voltage at this point with respect to this point. I am repeating, voltage at this point with respect to this point is equal to voltage at this point with respect to this point, right? Then I1 R3, anyhow I1 is equal to I3, right? So let me write I1 R3 is the voltage across R3. I1 R3 is equal to IC. What is the voltage across this? IC by J omega C. Okay, from this IC is equal to J omega C I1 R3. Okay, otherwise I1 J omega C R3. Okay, this is IC. Okay, now Under balance conditions, voltage at this point with respect to this point is equal to voltage at this point with respect to this point plus voltage at this point with respect to this point. Okay, that is voltage across this is equal to voltage across this plus voltage across this, right? So I1 R1 plus j omega L1 is equal to I2 R2 plus ICR. Okay, now this is equation 1. Now voltage at this point with respect to this point, that is voltage across this is equal to voltage across this plus voltage across this, right? So what is voltage across this is ICR. Okay, I'll do one thing. Anyhow, same current is flowing through this, so IC into R plus 1 by j omega C. Okay, this is the voltage across this plus voltage across this is equal to voltage across this I4 R4. Anyhow, from this I4 is equal to I2 minus IC. So let me write directly in place of this I4. Let me write I2 minus IC into R4. Okay, this is equation 2. Okay, substituting the value of IC in equations 1 and 2. Okay, what will I get? Okay, put this value of IC in this equation and in this equation. Okay, first let me put this in equation 1. What will I get? Okay, I1 into R1 plus j omega L1 is equal to I2 R2 plus what is IC? IC is I1 j omega C R3 and R. Okay, so now I1 into from this I1 into R1 plus j omega L1, you bring this term to this side, then minus j omega C R3 R is equal to I2 R2. Let this is equation 3. Okay, now put this, now put the value of IC in equation 2. What will you get in this equation? Okay, IC in place of IC you write IC is what? I1 j omega C R3, okay, into R plus 1 by j omega C, which is equal to I2 minus IC. IC in place of IC again you write I1 j omega C R3, I2 minus I1 j omega C R3 into R4. I1 j omega c R3, I1 j omega c R3. Okay, I2 minus IC. Okay, I1 j omega c R3, R4. Okay, correct. Okay, fine. Then I1 into j omega c R3R plus this will be R3. Okay, plus j omega c okay okay now j omega c R3 R4 is equal to I2 R4. Okay, this is equation 4. Okay, this is equation 2, 3 and this is equation 4. Okay, now solving equations 3 and 4, we get, after solving equations 3 and 4, okay, you put this equation in equation 3. Okay, that is here you are going to get in place of this I2, you put this I2 from equation 4. Okay, so first let me write this equation 3. Equation 3 is what? I1 into R1 plus j omega L1 minus j omega c R3R. Okay, is equal to I2 R2 is equal to I2 R2. So R2 I2, in place of I2 let me put this equation. Okay, then you are going to get I1 into j omega c R3R plus R3 plus j omega c R3 R4 by R4. Is I2, this will be I2. Okay, this by R4 gives I2. So let me put I2 from this equation in equation 3. Okay, then you are going to get I1 into R1 plus R1 okay, no problem, R1 plus j omega L1 minus j omega c R3R, which is equal to I1 into j omega c R2 R3R by R4 plus R2 R3 by R4 plus j omega c R2 R3. Okay, now both will get cancelled. Okay, then you are going to get R plus R1 plus j omega L1 minus j omega c R3R, which is equal to j omega c R2 R3 R by R4 plus R2 R3 by R4 plus j omega c R2 R3. Okay, now equate both real and imaginary parts separately. Okay, then this is real part, right? Okay, this is R1. Sorry, this is R1. Okay, real part. On this side, this is real part. So you're going to get R1 plus R1 is equal to R2 R3 by R4. Okay, from this R1 is equal to R2 R3 by R4 minus R1. Okay, now equating imaginary parts. Okay, L1 minus CR3R which is equal to I think this is R2, CR2R3 R by R4, CR2R3 R by R4. CR2R3 plus CR2R3. Okay, then L1 is equal to CR2R plus CR2R3 R by R4 plus CR2R3. Okay, now this will be equal to L1 is equal to C into R3 by R4 into R into R4 plus R2 plus R2 R4. Okay, this will be R1. This is unknown resistance, whereas this is unknown inductance. Okay, now here this is in terms of R2 R3 R4. This is also in terms of R2 R3 R4 and C. Okay, in terms of R2 R3 R4 and R1, in terms of R2 R3 R4 C R. Okay, this is in terms of R2 R3 R4, this is also in terms of R2 R3 R4. Okay, these three terms are common to both equations. Okay, so if you choose but this R1 and R are not common. Okay, so if we choose R1 and R as variables, then the two balance equations are independent of each other. Okay, so we choose R1 and R as variables. Okay, so this is a variable. First we vary this small r. If the balance condition is not obtained, then we vary this R1. First we vary this R. If balance condition is obtained, no need to vary this R1. If not, then we vary R1. This is also called as 5-point bridge. 5-point bridge. 5-point bridge, because it is having 5 points. 5 junctions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 junctions or 5 points. That's why it's called as 5-point bridge. Okay. In this bridge, we choose R1, R as variables. Okay. Coming to the advantage, if we choose R and R1 as R comma R and R1 as variable elements, then the two balance equations are independent of each other. In this bridge, it is much easier to obtain balance in the case of Anderson's bridge than in Maxwell's bridge for low Q coils. This bridge is used for the measurement of low Q coils. This bridge is used for the measurement of low Q coils, that is Q less than 1. In this bridge, we use fixed capacitor. Okay, so a fixed capacitor is a fixed capacitor. Capacitor can be used instead of variable capacitor as in the case of Maxwell's bridge. Okay, so if you use, what is the advantage of using fixed capacitor than variable capacitor? Fixed capacitor will be having high degree of accuracy. It is having high degree of accuracy, whereas variable capacitor is having low degree of accuracy. Okay, using fixed capacitor is one of the advantages. This bridge may be used for the measurement of capacitance. for determination of capacitance in terms of inductance. This bridge is used for accurate measurement of inductance. Over a wide range of values. From millihenry to a wide range. Coming to the disadvantage, this bridge is more complex bridge, more complex one. An additional junction point, junction point increases the difficulty of shielding the bridge, Okay, so anyhow, among all 5 bridges, this bridge is more accurate bridge. Anderson's bridge is more accurate bridge when compared to all other bridges. This is more accurate bridge. Okay, now let us draw the phasor diagram. This is only used for the measurement of low Q coils, that is Q less than 1. Okay, this is accurate for the measurement of low Q coils. Okay, now let us draw the phasor diagram. Now let me take I1 as reference vector. Okay, so let me take I1 as reference vector first. Okay. So this is I1, which is equal to I3 under balanced conditions. Current flowing through this is equal to current flowing through this, right? So I1 is equal to I3. Okay. Now let me take this branch. Okay. What will be the voltage across total resistance of this branch? Okay, I1 into R1 plus R1. Okay, how can I draw the phasor of voltage across this branch? Voltage across this resistance of this branch. voltage across R1 and R1 will be in phase, okay, so will be in phase with I1. So this will be what? This will be I1 into R1 plus R1, I1 into R1 plus R1. Okay, now let us draw the voltage across inductance L1. Leads current by an angle 90 degrees. So voltage across inductor leads current by an angle 90 degrees. So this will be what? Voltage across inductor, phasor voltage across inductor, that is I1 omega L1. Now phasor sum of voltage across resistance and voltage across inductance gives E1. E1 is the phasor sum of voltage across resistor and voltage across inductor. Okay, so this will be phasor sum of both will be E1. This is what E1 is, E1 only, not E2, not equal to E2. E1 is not equal to E2. Okay, E1 only. Okay, now coming to this, how can you draw the voltage across this R3? Okay, voltage across R3 is in phase with I3, right? So voltage across R3 is in phase with I3. So this will be voltage across R3, that is I3 R3, which is equal to E3, which is equal to, anyhow voltage across this is equal to voltage across this, right? So which is equal to IC by omega C, IC by omega C. Okay, so now what about current to this capacitor? Now we know we have phasor of voltage across capacitor. Okay, this is voltage across capacitor, right? Phasor voltage across capacitor, right? How can I draw current to capacitor? Current to the capacitor leads voltage across the capacitor by an angle 90 degrees. So now let me draw current to the capacitor leads current by an angle 90 degrees. Sorry, leads voltage by an angle 90 degrees. So this will be IC. This will be IC. Okay. Current leads voltage across the capacitor by an angle 90 degrees. Fine. Okay. Now coming to this, how can I draw voltage across this R? Voltage across R is in phase with current through this R. What is current through this R? Is IC only. Current flowing through this is equal to current flowing through this, IC only. So voltage across R will be in phase with current through this capacitance. Okay, so sorry, you're going to have, okay, will be in phase. Okay, so let this is ICR. This will be in phase with IC, right? This will be in phase with IC. Okay, now Okay, fine. Now let me draw ICR. Then this will be ICR. This will be ICR. Okay. This ICR will be in phase with IC. Okay. So now fair sum of voltage across this and voltage across this gives what? E4 or not? Voltage across R4 or E4. Okay, voltage across this and voltage across this. This is voltage across C. This is voltage across R. Then we get E4. Fair sum of this and this gives E4. So fair sum of these two is E4. E4. This is what? This is E4. E4, right? Now how can I draw I4? Okay, we have phasor E4. How can I draw I4? I4 will be in phase with E4, or E4 will be in phase with I4, right? Okay, so this will be I4 will be in phase with this E4. Okay, so this will be will be in phase with E4. So this phasor will be I4 will be in phase with E4, right? Okay, because it is resistor. Okay, this is I4. Okay, now what is I2? I2 is equal to IC plus I4. That is, I2 is the fair sum of IC and I4. Okay, we have IC and I4. Okay, fair sum of these two. Okay, fair sum of these two. Fair sum of IC and I4 is what? Is I2. So this will be what? I2. So this will be I2. How can I draw E2? E2 will be in phase with I2, because this is resistor. Okay, both will be in phase. Current and voltage will be in phase. Okay, so now I can draw E2 like this. This will be E2. This will be E2. This will be E2. Sorry. This will be E2. Okay. This is E3, E4, E3, E2 and E1, right? Okay, now what is E? E is the fair sum of E1 and E3, or E2 and E4. Okay, so fair sum of E1 and E3 gives E. Okay, so fair sum of E1 and E3. E1 and E3. E1 and E3. E1 and E3 is E. Similarly, fair sum of E2 and E4 is E. Okay, so fair sum of E2 and E4 is also E. Okay, so this will be what? This will be E. Sorry, this will be E. Okay, E is the Feather sum of E1 and E3 or E2 and E4. Okay. Thank you.